So what I want us to do is to start becoming more conscious, start choosing things in a better way for ourselves, and start creating a life that's going to gear us to really take advantage of the opportunities that are going to show up for us in the years to come.
This podcast is brought to you by The Integrated Human. We work up, down, inside out to plug yourself into your potential. If you want to see what we are up to and what's next, sign up to our newsletter or follow us on social media. If you like what we are doing, we really appreciate it if you can like our post on social media and YouTube and help us grow.
All right. Welcome to the Big and Small Podcast. I'm Jason Shields and I'm big.
And I'm Marit Gabrielsen and I'm the tiny one.
So, what does my bestie have for me today?
Put on the spot. Oh, that's when you know you're doing it ad hoc.
Yeah, right?
And not planned.
Squirm.
You can't do that when you have head issues. Not brain issues, but thought issues. I don't know. What's up?
Yeah. Well, we just got back from spending lots of good time with Simon Chamberlain.
Wonderful human being.
A fantastic man who is a doctor of psychology and has been working with us to teach us, give us more insight into everything from Carl Jung's archetypes to primitive rituals to transcultural therapies, shamanism. The guy is like a unbelievable storehouse of knowledge. So if you guys have an opportunity to spend some time with this man, I absolutely, positively
We get him in one
recommend.
of our events.
Yes,
When
absolutely.
we have expanded to a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing now, which we will continue to have, but in not too long we're gonna be looking at weeks, and maybe Simon will be invited to pop up in one of those.
Oh, I so hope so.
Big goals for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there are a lot of interesting conversations to be had around that, right? Because primitive cultures had this idea of animism. And animism was that everything was alive, right? So that
Well, everything is alive.
everything is alive. Quantum physics shows that, there is movement and energy and organization and information everywhere, right? And it even responds to the way we look at it. You look at the experiments done in quantum physics with particle and waves. If you observe the photons, they act like, or the electrons, they act like a particle. But if you don't observe them and just see the aftermath, they behave like waves. So the whole point is that the observer does affect the world around it, and the universe responds to the observer, which is very, very interesting, right?
Then I just pause it and I keep it to the simple, stupid. I go, wherever you are, there you are.
Yes, there it is.
Yes.
Exactly. So
For us that did not have physics, did not have, it's physics, right?
yeah, physics. Yeah, there you
Didn't
go.
have physics.
We have
There
physiques,
you are.
but
There
not
you
physics.
are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
There you are. There you are. So
I had a whole bunch of physics. I
never had physics. I did with something in like high school with you put some dots on some dots, and if I really put my high school education to use, I can kind of see protons and electrons, and now how I remember it was a circle and then a circle with its spots, but
well
kind of
done.
stuff.
Yeah,
So thank you.
Yeah.
But, I stick with where you are, there you are. So what you do matters.
Yeah, what you do matters and what you observe matters. And what you observe affects the universe around you in a larger or smaller degree, but it definitely affects your experience of it, right? So if everything's alive and everything has a soul, then it basically allows you to have a very personal relationship to environment, right? And that makes things much more respectful. So if you're walking in, you're hunting for a deer, for example, people in the West in the 1800s would just get on trains and shoot into big herds of buffalo just to have shot a buffalo. It's absurd. And having absolutely no connection with that thing. They just killing, just to kill because it's fun. And then you have other hunters today who have a little more of an animistic relationship to it, that they understand that humans are actually part of nature, and it's not man against nature, it's man with and in nature is nature. And when you then have a relationship with the environment, then you will naturally not have to go out and destroy it and mess it up, or you take what's needed and not more, and all that stuff, So that primitive look, that shamanistic look, is very cool. So did you have any insights that you'd like to share from the time spent with him?
Nope. Nope.
Nope. Well,
that was a joke, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, well, there's another one that I thought was pretty cool. Another insight.
Nope.
Right? Nope. Because it's this thing. It's the concept of the rebirth. And Carl Jung talks about the rebirth quite a bit in his psychology. And that is that Carl Jung, if you guys don't know, is a psychotherapist, and he was born in the 1800s and died in the 1900s, and was a student of Sigmund Freud. But then, in a way, they parted a little bit, because Sigmund Freud was more looking for specifically scientific directions in psychotherapy, but psychoanalysts that follow Carl Jung are looking for the symbolic self. They have archetypes that they work with, and they work with the shadow side. And
I don't like the name.
Huh?
I had a big discussion with my husband the other day. I don't like it being called the shadow side.
The shadow side.
I know it. I like dark is better than sorry. Like,
yeah, the dark
fighting
mother.
Against Carl Jung here, but it's kind of shadow.
Yeah.
It gives it a lot of shame, maybe.
Yeah,
it's shadowed.
Yeah,
you understand? It's not dark.
It should be covered up because it's
shadowed.
shadowed.
It's shadowed. Dark is better. I
like it.
would say, because dark is substance. Shadow, it should be in the shadows. It lurks in the shadows. No, it's in the dark. Like I'm gonna fight Carl Jung here, but I don't like the name shadow.
Yeah.
I feel it puts a lot of shame on something that shouldn't be shamed. It should be accepted into the total human being. There's a totally different conversation. I don't like it.
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
Sorry. Shadow side, yeah.
Yeah. Well, as we say in the integrated human, we talk about being total, which means that you have all the polarities, the positive and the negatives and all that stuff. And then in our relationship, the integrated human to the psychology, we wouldn't call it really a shadow side, but we'd maybe call it the negative poles of the personality, and maybe an unconscious part of the personality, right? So a lot of I think he talks about it as the shadow side, not necessarily because they're trying to cover it up, but it's because it is covered up.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think he means it like that.
Yeah.
It's just when you talk to people and you talk about shadows, it's kind of
shadow work.
Yeah, it puts a presupposition.
Yeah, presupposition. Nice.
On it. Wow. Expanding my vocabulary. On it that it doesn't have to be there. I think it's shadow because it's not seen or known. Yeah. So understand why it's used. It's not that, but we have so many loaded words today in this society that call it dark. Yeah. Or unconscious, or
yeah, exactly.
But if it's in your shadow side, it kind of feels like you should never look at it.
Yeah. And he found these symbolic thought forms, basically, that follow different societies throughout the world. As you know, for example, and people who are listening to us may not know this, but shamanism, for example, is not just in South America. Shamanism is in Tibet. Shamanism is in Nepal. Shamanism is in Africa. Shamanism is in Native American cultures.
It's in medicine. Norway.
It's in Norway. Like, And weirdly enough, this is going to freak you out because it freaks me out. Just like, and I'm not like some conspiracy theory weirdo, or I'm not pushing you guys a place you don't want to go, but what I'm doing is I'm making you aware that there are pyramid structures on every continent, just like, and I don't know why, I'm not making any postulates, but it's a fact. And they're also the same general structure for shamanism and primitive culture and religion. I wouldn't say religion, I should say spiritual belief all over the world. There are common elements. And that's one of the things that Carl Jung was studying. And one of the things that our good friend Dr. Simon Chamberlain has been explaining to us and showing us. So the whole point is that we have instinctive ideas, archetypes, or thought patterns that are in the culture, conscious or unconscious, that are in our personal consciousness, conscious or unconscious, and they affect you every single day. One of these processes that they talk about is the ability to die and be reborn, right? So the East, they talk about how, you have many incarnations. You die and come back, and you die and come back. And Christianity doesn't have that idea. But when I started talking to a yogi about this reincarnation idea, he said, of course, reincarnation has to do with coming back after you've died, right? But maybe you die a little bit every day. Maybe you die every time you go to sleep, and the next day is a completely different life because you can be reborn at night. Maybe you can reincarnate 1,000 times in this lifetime. And that is such a superpower.
You're going to die 1,000 times and getting reborn 1,000
times. 1,001.
In this lifetime.
1,001, hopefully. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
And this is the whole point, that many people are plagued with things that happen to them 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ago, and they're not able in the Western society to let it go because their identification with a certain thing, their non-understanding of their dark side.
Yeah, call it dark side.
Could I say dark side? Yeah. Their dark side, their unconscious needs, wants, self that they project on other people. Oh, he's a bad person, or that would never be me, and I could never. But then they find themselves doing it, and they have to look at themselves and go, oh my God, is it forgivable or unforgivable? Because we talked about forgiveness last time, right?
No, well, 2 times ago.
Yeah, 2 times ago.
We had Ricardo Liborio last
Oh, that's right. Sorry, my time goes so fast for me. Yeah, love you, Liborio. Did not forget you.
No.
Just time is warped for me. So the point is that being able to understand yourself, understand that you have the potential for all feelings and all actions depending on the context, then you've understood your dark side. When you really have understood that and accepted it, you stop judging people. You don't judge people. You evaluate. That's good or that's efficient. That's not efficient. That serves. That doesn't serve. But you stop moralizing over other people, right? And that's a very important trait. Because if you stop moralizing over other people, maybe you'll stop moralizing over who? Yourself. Which means, like I said, it was a harsh thing I said when we were talking about forgiveness. You have to ask yourself, are you forgivable? First, you have to get to the point where are you forgivable? Which means that you have to work with what happened enough to realize that, you know what? Not only are they forgivable, but I'm forgivable because I actually did the best I possibly could in that situation. They did the best they possibly could in that situation, given their context. You know what? I don't want to carry that shit around with me anymore. It's done.
Yeah, but it's hard to, when you're looking back and you have the experience, it's always difficult, I find, for people, and myself included, but to accept who you were.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't do the same now necessarily.
Exactly.
And for me, that concept just helped, just to understand, well, you do evolve. You are in a process. So who you are now is isn't who I was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, a month ago, a week ago, a weekend ago.
Yeah.
So what I did with what I had was the best I could.
Yes.
But always looking back, like take that woman. People are gonna wonder at one point who this
poor lady was.
who this poor lady was, but it wasn't my fault. But I had a big role to play in that she broke her ankle.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm just going, oh, really? You could just had to change that sentence. That may not. It could have happened. It could have happened, but it may not have happened. I at least would have played a less role or a better role towards not breaking the ankle.
Yeah.
But with what I had, but also no, with what I had, with the state I was in, the time of day, the stress level there were, the experience I had, the role that I played in life at that moment, that was what's gonna happen, and I can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
But to accept that, because it's always, say you're having a fight with your husband or wife, and you kind of, it's about cleaning.
That
Like
never happened ever.
Never happened ever. It's kind of, it's not that, of course, and you look back and you have these arguments and you kind of, well, you could have done better. You could have washed, you could have made that cake for that birthday, say you forgot to make a birthday cake or whatever. But say you were so exhausted that it was what you had.
Yeah, that's
that
it.
you forget time and space. You forgot to like,
Yeah.
you know you know when they had their birthday and what date that birthday is, but you didn't know it was that day.
Yeah.
So it's not that you forgot about them. It's just that in that time and space, with the amount of work you had, with the situation we're in, you've just forgot that it was their birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking back, you know you should remember it's your birthday.
Who did that? I did that with my dad's 75th birthday, guys. 75th birthday. Oh my God, it's horrible.
But it happens, and now you know that you don't want that to happen again. So you put, for instance, an alarm on your phone, so the day before it's gonna ring, or 6 o'clock in the morning, just so you remember. But before that had happened, you didn't have that system because you didn't know it was necessary.
Exactly.
And the same with cleaning, and you have arguments and you fall out with friends.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
You do this is one of the big things through the process been working I'm writing in the book, and it's one of those, when you understand it, not just in your head, but you understand it in your heart, you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
And that is that everybody do the best they can with what they have at every single moment.
Always.
And you may think that person is not seeing me, they're not doing what they should, and you have all these reasons, but I promise you, they're doing everything they can with what they have, and you do not know the reasons they have
exactly
for what they're doing.
Yeah.
It gives you a lot of freedom and compassion for people, and then you go back to yourself and you go forgive yourself for being in the role with this lady broke her ankle.
Yeah, exactly.
I have forgiven it, by the way, but it's just a very good example of, I wished that was different.
Yeah, wish it was different. Yeah, exactly.
I wished I could go back in time and change that. But that is the hook there on that thing. So I could never walk an obstacle course again, or I can never lead again, or, I do lead. That thing is not going to stop that. I can't stop that. If that one thing going to hold you back for the rest of your life, it's going to be a difficult life. So you forgive that hook and you get reborn.
Exactly. You get reborn. And that's one of those things that the primitive cultures had, they have so much right, because it's based on our internal operating system, the operating system with which we work with. There is a reset button, and you can reset yourself by going through a ritualistic death, right? And that's the whole point. When you really feel that you're finished with it, I've learned what I can learn, I've figured out my routines, you can walk into this fire of ritualistic rebirth and then become anew. And we have that ritual in Christianity, Catholicism, that you go and you talk to the priest and you get, 40 Hail Marys.
And you do the wine and dippy thing.
Yeah, you basically take the body of Christ, you do communion, which is actually a very people don't really realize this, but you're drinking the blood of Christ and you're eating of Christ's body. That's pretty
Heavy,
intense. That's
heavy
pretty
stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, but that's not really true. Well, actually, the ritual is that you're supposed to actually believe that you're taking Jesus' body in yours. That is actually, yes,
That's the point.
that's the whole point.
But
If you don't believe that, it's just a cracker.
That's a easy way
Yeah.
to get donkey ears.
Yeah, donkeys.
To get reborn, because it's every Sunday in every church. So
Yeah.
you can actually get that. But if you don't go in there with the whole of you, it will not happen.
That's it.
I can just say, yeah, I forgive you.
Yeah.
But if you don't mean it, first of all, they hear it.
Yeah.
If they consciously don't hear it, they subconsciously do. And when you ready to let it go, make a line in the sand and say, from now on, I say thank you for the past, and I'm walking into the future. It could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
But you have to want it. If you don't want it, it will not happen.
That's it. That's correct.
So you have to build enough energy up in it for it to actually
It's
matter.
a commitment. It's a commitment.
I'm done now.
I'm done now. Exactly. And that's one of those things that's so brilliant with this idea that Carl Jung talked about and shamanism talks about as well, because that is actually a thing. It's not, of course, just Carl Jung. Christianity has it, and there's a lot of
it's everything
humans.
with it's humans.
It's humans. Why does it work? Because you have a nervous system. And who does it work for? Everybody with a nervous system. That's it. The keys, though, again, are the preparing to do it, building the energy, and jumping into the process wholeheartedly, really leaving stuff behind. It's not like, okay, now I'm no longer a gamer.
And just say that.
Yeah, I'm no longer a gamer, except that I don't really have to erase the app off of my iPad, do I?
Nah, you don't.
I mean, come on.
Nah,
Seriously, like, we'll keep that. Because I'm no longer I can have that there. Bullshit.
If you're no longer a gamer, you don't need it there. Take it off.
Take it off. That's not you anymore. Drop it. Like,
if you decided to get reborn,
Yeah.
start whatever you're gonna start anew. I call it reborn for now, because that's what we're talking about. You don't need it.
exactly. Drop it.
It's not a problem if you let it go.
Yep.
Just let it go. But then
Exactly.
you shouldn't have games, and if you that was a thing some while ago. No one should eat sugar. But then they have sugar in the house, and there are cakes in their house, and I think that's a ridiculous thing to not eat sugar to begin with, because when we talked about this in many episodes back, but if you don't eat sugar, and it's not like if you're gonna die from it, it's different. But you don't eat sugar, and grandma bake you a cake, you eat that cake,
You're eating the cake.
and you're grateful for what she did for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the point was that I'm not gonna do this, and then they still kind of have chocolate in their bag.
Yeah.
Just in case I get low blood sugar.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
then, choose your time somewhere else, because you're letting yourself down with disappointing yourself again, with breaking another promise to yourself, which is an impossible promise, because you're going to get sugar in you sometimes. Anyways.
Exactly. And then people have to start thinking about the idea of wu wei.
I'm not going to say what I'm not saying that on a podcast.
Wu wei. What's that fucking guy's name again? Yeah, it's like wu wei, wu wei. And that's the actionless action. It's like the effortless action, actionless action, actually.
That was the cultural mindset. That was not the person, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Wu wei.
Yeah, it's not a person. Lao Tzu is
Lao
the
Tzu.
guy. Wu wei
Wei.
is the effortless or the actionless action, and then you have that all coming from the Tao or the Tao. And the Tao
I
is-
think you make people very confused now, because
Yeah,
we
but-
have a little bit internal
internal
joke
jokes.
here.
Yeah,
But yes,
Anyway, the point is that the actionless action is that if you don't want to eat candy, don't have candy in the house. If you don't want to
Simple.
eat candy, don't buy what?
candy.
Candy. It's easy.
But you have to go wholehearted into
Yeah.
it. You have to get reborn, die from it, and get reborn.
That's it. Because resisting it just creates more resistance. That's the whole point. But if you just structure your life so that that's no longer a part of it, and you have died to it, then it's easy to let it go.
But this is we're gonna start using more and more of this in our work with people also, because it's such a it's such a, like Simon said in the
Ooh,
we had
Simon
Simon
says.
said in the work we did now, because we had a conversation around it. It was really nice, and one thing that today's society I feel also lack is ritual and ceremonies. We have kind of the confirmation in Norway. You get that,
It's a nice,
which
it's
is
nice.
it's a change, because I know what people still say in Norway and that I hear is that you well they if you are looked up as a child until you're
Confirmed.
confirmed, but and often you will receive more or bigger Christmas gifts and stuff until you're confirmed, but then you're an adult, and it's different now from when my grandmother was a child, because then she was an adult, but now it's more you're not a child anymore.
Exactly.
So it's more you're getting into the youths
Yeah,
with that.
exactly.
But we don't have that many others.
No, in Norway, there's like in America, we have the prom for high school, but here they have like a whole period, like 2 weeks or a month that you're
Yeah, 3 weeks I think, or 17 days.
that you're basically allowed to do whatever. I mean, really whatever you want, drinking and partying wise.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy.
But that is also one of the few where, and that's also
rite
a
of
ritual.
passage.
It's rite of passage. You go, you know, are stepping past that to go on your own feet, and people go into college then after and stuff like that. So you have that, but we don't have that for everyday stuff. You could actually have one every time you want to get reborn.
Yeah.
Getting rid of something, transforming into something new.
Yeah, have a ritual. Somebody asked me when I meditate. I literally roll out of bed, and as my feet hit the ground, I decide I'm going to have a good day.
I'm just laughing because you said you rolled out of bed.
Yeah, I do actually roll out of bed. You know me. I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt. I roll
Well,
out
I
of
hip
bed.
escape, but
Yeah, right.
sure, you roll.
I roll, and my feet hit the ground, and I decide I'm going to have a beautiful, loving day. And then I start with being with my breath, and I do moksha meditation with my eyes open as I'm preparing for the day, as I make coffee, as I brush my teeth, as I take a shower, as I get my clothes and all these things. I am already in that way, because it's so important to have your own center before you start. Because, I mean, are we busy?
Yeah.
I don't think we have, like, seriously, we don't have an hour to waste, to be quite honest with you, for the next 3 months.
No, they're extremely
booked.
packed.
They're booked.
You just look at it and you go,
Wow.
it's going to be fine. But wow, that happened. And now I do something similar. I started, I don't know. I started the last 2 months. When I wake up in the morning, except in the weekends, because then my husband is at home and he makes breakfast. So then him and the dog wakes me up.
Oh, that's nice.
But during the weekdays, I wake up, and I usually I've been to so many lectures with you and Sieve now, when we have it for others, so I've heard some of these lectures like 25 times now. Something is about to kind of come in, and it's about like the brain waves when you wake up, and how you kind of can take charge of your day and form the day. And my usual pattern is that, because it is super busy, is that I wake up at around 6 o'clock or 5:45 in the morning, and I wake up and I'm super clear, and after 3 seconds my brain is starting just to attack the day, and that just leads to everything I should do and haven't done and can't do, and everything that's lacking. So I just have started to try to pull back from that, and then I turn and I hug my dog, Teddy, and I says, it's gonna be a good day, even if it's a shitty day. it's gonna be a good day, and that helps.
Yeah, it does help. It does, to make that decision. Another thing that's very interesting. What's your attitude in general to things that you have to do?
I don't have an attitude towards them. They're just...
Well, this is the interesting thing, because if I have to do stuff or feel obligated to do stuff, I'm not as happy and enthusiastic as if I get to do stuff. that I've chosen it.
Yeah, the things I have to do, I usually just put into not a ritual, but into routine. So they're just happening. And the things I don't want to do, I take a deep breath and I do them with the best attitude I can manifest at that time.
and that's a superpower, like to be able to organize yourself and do things that you don't want to do, things that you don't feel.
It doesn't matter if you want to do them or not. If it's important, it's important.
Yeah, well, that's the point right there. This is an interesting thing, guys, because I have to get up tomorrow. I have to eat. I have to go to work. I have to clean the house. I have to go work out. I have to go home and make dinner. I have to do, most people.
I just want to slap you in the face because that was a super annoying sound.
I want to slap me in the face right now. I want to slap me in the face. But the whole point is that there are things that we choose because we want them, but then we forget that we wanted them and think we have to do them. And then we get bogged down by the monotony and the pain of having to do stuff. Oh, I'm locked in my life. Yeah, but who chose your life yet? Well, I did it. Oh, yeah. You don't want to go to work? Well, I'd rather be surfing. Yeah, but you do go surfing, and isn't your work what's financing it? So isn't every time you do something at work actually buying a little bit more wax, buying a little more free time for you to surf? Well, yeah, actually, since you're mentioning it, well, aren't you building your whole life so you have more and more free time to surf later on? Yeah, actually, yeah. Huh? Really? You like being muscular. Yeah, I love having a great bod and people look at me and wow, it's, I feel good and but I have to go work out. Do you have to go work out, or do you get to go work out to make the body you want? Just that whole, it's a tiny little shift, but because things become monotonous and they become a routine, we forget that we actually chose these things.
Yeah, I often, like I said, I must have routine. If not, I'm not going to do anything. So everything I do is routine.
Yeah.
But I often, in the routine, when I'm doing that thing, walking the dog or exercise, I'm very grateful in the moment.
Yes.
So I have a lot of stuff I have to do.
Yep.
I need to do them.
Yes.
But when I'm in them, I really try to appreciate them and find this small choice in it.
Yeah, and the small choice, but also if something's important or it's urgent or that's needed, that means that it plays a bigger context in your life. That means it's important and it's something that you want to do. Like, I want to pay my bills. People, I have to pay my bills. I want to pay my bills because I don't want to pay more money for not paying them. Yeah, right?
I just pay them.
Exactly.
Not thinking about it.
Pay.
No. Yeah. You just pay them. It's not positive or negative. It's a part of life. I have electricity in my house, so I pay my electricity bill.
Exactly.
It's not either or. It's just an of course I pay my bills. It's just that's.
So my question is this: exactly what you're saying is correct. My question is, what if you could enjoy doing the things that you have to do? What if you could give yourself pleasure?
I don't have time to start thinking about paying bills.
Ain't got that type of time.
No, but that's my point, because I'm for me, not being a head person, not thinking, my limited brain capacity can't be used on trying to figure out how to be happy for paying bills. So I just pay them.
Yeah, exactly.
That causes my emotion in my head much less stress. And then I use my joy and happiness where I really can use them.
Yeah. Interesting. If we could expand those opportunities to be joyous and happy and loving to more activities, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use it on paying bills. And you put them in auto track or whatever it's called.
I understand. You get automatic pay at the bills. It's not about the bills, of course. what I'm talking
But of
about.
course, if you're one of those that do not have them on auto draw and you have to pay bills because they pop into your face all the time, then maybe you should try to be happy with it or change the system.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Enjoy the thought of the thing that you bought with the money as you're paying the bill, so that there's some
This is you can do
continuity
that.
and love, right? Yeah, I can do that.
I just
wanna
pay the bill.
Just want to pay the bill, Jason.
Don't
pay the
even
bills.
think about it.
Yeah, that's it. I got you. I got you. But anyway, this whole idea of being reborn and having a relationship. If you had a personal relationship with your environment, if you felt that everything around you had a soul, if you were intimately in contact with it and you felt that it had some influence on you other than it just being a table or a car or a dog or a deer, do you think you would treat it better?
Oh, I appreciate the things around me every day.
Yeah, you see, I know you do, but talking to people in general, it's like Western.
Oh, it's what's it called in Norwegian? It's called bruk og kast.
Yeah,
What would be the English?
consumerism.
Yeah,
basically,
you just
use it, throw it away. Use it and throw it away. It's horrible.
So wear my jacket until they're
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting told to buy a new jacket.
we have to beg you to buy new stuff. We have to actually buy stuff for you so that you'll wear it because you
Yeah,
just won't
but
change it.
I like my stuff.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have a relationship with it.
Yeah, my worst day was when I got the note from the car mechanics that I was never allowed to drive my car again.
Yeah, and not because of one thing, like
It
seven
was
things.
just like it's not allowed out of the garage. I'm like, it's the worst news ever.
Yeah.
It was horrific. But now I do love my new car and I appreciate it at least 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I rub it over the hood and said, I'm so grateful for you. You're the best car ever.
And this is the most important, beautiful thing with Marit is that she does actually take the time to appreciate stuff because most people.
Oh yeah, you will see me caress the car.
Yeah, because once you've bought something, 3 months later, on average, people have forgotten that they have it.
I think I'm like that. Can be like that on electrical, like on my phone, because I don't have any connection with phone. My phone.
Yeah.
But my I have like this. I got from you guys a Wonder Bag.
Oh yeah,
like it's one of those slow cookers, but from Africa.
Yeah.
So it's not in metal. It's in wool and cloth and stuff.
And buckwheat seeds and stuff.
Oh, I hold that thing and I'm so grateful for it. Like, I'm so happy I got you. I'm so happy I got you. It looks very strange. So you will catch me in caressing stuff.
Yeah, but loving on it, right?
Like, oh, I'm so happy. Like, this is the best buy.
Ever.
And it can be something as simple as I got a new white onion. Garlic is what it's called. A garlic
press.
Yeah, but it's a garlic squeezer.
Ooh.
Because if you have a garlic press, you try to press that thing out. You can see I'm very attached to it. And you press that thing out. The issue is because I have a very strong scent of smell. Like my nose picks up way too much. So if I make food and then go to training afterwards, I'm disgusted by my own smell. Because I smell dinner on my hands. Because garlic do that to you. And if you use the press, it squeezes it out, but half of the garlic is left in the thing, and you have to peel it out, and you can't get it out without using your hands, and you smell like garlic. This new thing we have, it's just you just squeeze it out, and I'm every time I use it, I'm so happy. It's the best buy ever.
Yes.
I'm so grateful every time I use it. So I do that with a lot of stuff. So you can find me in dark eyes caressing my garlic press.
Yeah, right. Garlic press and you're in a car.
But it is to enjoy that stuff and really be grateful that you have it. And also I'm to the point where if I buy new stuff, I will not use it because I'm so terrified of being overused. So I will wear my old stuff even longer. That system it's not the best.
Well, at the same time, you have a relationship with it, not in a healthy way. You have a healthy relationship, but you appreciate it.
My garlic press.
Yes, my precious
garlic press.
But you take better care of it.
Oh,
which means that then you're having an inner experience, which gives you outer efficiency and respect. So if you don't respect the things around you, you end up having to buy it again and again and again.
I need to have like a
Right.
ceremony where I make a line in the sand and I I caress my garlic press before I let it go and step into life with a new garlic press.
Yeah, right?
Because the old one is 20 years old and not functioning anymore.
Yep, exactly. You know, it's like, I'm dying to you, garlic press.
I'm going on to a new life with a new garlic press.
Right.
I'm so grateful for that thing.
Oh,
I'm gonna show it to you how amazing it is. Because now you can squeeze the garlic, and the thing is, you don't get garlic on your hands. You get more garlic out, and it's super easy to clean.
Exactly. There you go. That's what I want. Thank you. I'd love one. Maybe that's a good Christmas gift.
Yeah. I'm gonna give a garlic press.
Speaking of amazing things and rituals and dying and being reborn and stuff. So you created a great ritual when we were saying goodbye to the old company, which is Gorillas, which basically was a company that we started in order to help people who are doing jiu-jitsu to take their mental performance and their physical preparation to a whole nother level, which in fact, we've done that for many people and gotten excellent results. And in the small club that we have here, we've had, world medalists. We have 3 world champions. And this is a group of 20 people. So if you guys understand dimensions and scale at all, you understand that if you have 20 individuals that want to do something, you don't have 5 people who can perform on the world stage, but we did. And that's partially because we have good individuals that are committed, but also because of the training program and the training mindset and the organization. And that was something that we provided for a while for jiu-jitsu athletes. But just as we were getting this thing rolling, COVID hit. So all of the momentum in this thing died.
It's very hard to do jiu-jitsu as a close contact sport when you need to have 2 meters distance.
Exactly. And what people don't necessarily understand is that I think that Norway has to be the most compliant country in the world. Like when they shut things down, guys, they shut it down. We didn't touch other people for
We have actually
years.
Now we've been training for 1 year.
Yeah.
Without restrictions.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was not the point. The point was that we had this company and it's the foundation for Integrated Human.
Yeah.
Because through that program, we had a physical preparation program, we had a mental training program. And what we saw, especially because of COVID, was the mental health. And that's where we're getting the questions. Because when it comes to exercise, people think that you can just go on YouTube, which you can, but really, you can't.
No.
Well, because that's a whole other discussion. But we saw the need for what we then call mental training, which we then have just expanded more and more and more and more and more.
Absolutely.
And that became Integrated Human.
Yes.
Which is a very loving place to be. And we get to help much more people that's not just into sport, but moms and dads in every age and every category.
Lawyers and doctors and plumbers and everybody. And may I ask you to pound the rock? Our event is full. Meaning that the meditation event that's coming up now is full for the Integrated Human. So if you guys were looking forward to joining us, you have to wait until next time. And I think the next time is going to be
we don't have the dates yet.
Oh yeah.
But what I think you were going with it was that was the thing that we had to let go of, because we still had stuff from Gorillas and you kind of had hooks to it. So we made a ritual.
Yeah.
To kind of let go of that company. Because we kind of had still our bank cards had the logo on it and stuff. So it's not that it's alive, but it's still there in a way.
It was holding again like the app on your. I'm no longer a gamer, but I have the app on my iPad.
Yeah, so you could we don't do the company anymore, but you can still go in and check if you want to. So what we did is that we gave everybody that bought product, we gave them a half a year and send them messages that you can download everything now if you want to. We closed down the page. But now, and we had done all of that big stuff, but we still had kind of the bank card, and we weren't released from it. So what we did was that we had a dinner of celebration.
Yes.
Because it's nothing like we said, when you look back at the situation where you didn't bake the cake or you didn't clean enough, you did what you could with what you had, and it was perfect for what it was. And same with Gorillas, we came at the perfect time. It gave the start for Integrated Human, and it was really necessary at where we were, and it was a perfect start.
Yeah.
But now we are full throttle into the Integrated Human, which is expanding a lot. We are also now having Saturday, it's a kindergarten that's booked us in for special focus on their wonderful workers there, so they can reduce sick leave.
Absolutely.
So,
and they're working with children so that they are well and centered and less stressed is so appropriate.
And then it's extremely important for us that we are all in that and don't have that the gaming app on our phone. So we had a ceremony where we were able to thank and for everything it's done for us, and we invited the people that's been involved in the creation and put a lot of energy into it, so that energy could be released.
Exactly, and be appreciated.
Now in Integrated Human.
And this is the thing, guys, the process I brought this up because it's such a iconic, beautiful thing. First of all, there's no shame in the fact that we had a business that we tried and didn't work. There was absolutely positively nothing that we did there that wasn't done with the best possible intentions. Secondly, the product was amazing. Product is now the basis of what people are enjoying today, and we're getting amazing feedback from this. Thirdly, the kind of energy and love and attention that we gave it, of course it was sad. Of course it was sad to have to let it go because we put so much hours in it. But at the same time, it gave us what we are here and now. It gave us who we are today. So how valuable was that experience? Would we be what we are without that experience? Not at all. And we wouldn't have gotten that kind of feedback. And the skills that we got, the experience that we had, the reflective ability that we had in that trial run has given us the step forward in the business that we have now. So once you've taken and integrated the wisdom from a thing, the most appropriate thing, if it's no longer in your life, is to what? Let it go. That's it. And that's what we did. And thanks to Marit, she arranged it. Her and her husband stood in the kitchen for 3 hours making unbelievable, wonderful food. And I didn't know that she could bake these crazy good pastries filled with like raspberry jam, and it was amazing. That was like a whole nother level. But we had such a wonderful time that night. So it became a celebration. So thank you very much for that. It was awesome. So remember, you matter. Unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light squared, then you're energy. But if you can't be energy, matter.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you felt we added something to your day and hopefully your life. If you want to learn more, subscribe to our newsletter and find us at integrated-human.com. That is integrated-human.com. Integrated Human on YouTube and other social media platforms. Have a great day and thank you again for listening. Love, light, and upgrade from us at the Integrated Human team.